Greetings once again, heroes and villains. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more My Hero Academia. Previously, the heroes are in a desperate struggle. Uravati tries to gain the attention of Himiko Toga, who has consumed twice his blood and initiated the Sad Man's Parade, unleashing an army of twices upon various different battlefields. Meanwhile, Endeavor has been confronted by his overcharged son, who's using Shoto's own technique in order to keep himself from burning to a crisp before he can exact his revenge, with Endeavor having no choice but to just see his son for the villain that he is. And Hawks, he finds himself with the most challenging task of all, keeping All For One on the battlefield, as All For One wishes to go to Shigaraki's side. Can our heroes overcome these trials and tribulations, or will they fall to more powerful and deadlier odds? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, My Hero Academia number 377, The Chain Thus Far. I wonder what that means. We have narration. As the heroes withered, the villains thrive. Due to the gap in power, achieving victory through standard tactic was as unlikely as grabbing hold of a thin, fleeting thread. Instead, the heroes strategized to divide their foes and claim the advantage. But a raging tempest began to blow. Oh right, we're picking back up at the floating UA, and in order to keep Shigaraki's powers from running even more rampant with the decay, Monoma was using Aizawa's ability to keep Shigaraki depowered. But because Kurogiri was awoken by Spinner and transported Toga's Sad Man's Parade right behind Monoma, Aizawa, and Manuel, with Present Mike being transported as well. Eraserhead looks behind him, seeing Present Mike and saying Yamada, and then he thinks to himself, that means, and he sees Kurogiri as a flood of twice come pouring out of the portal. And while Aizawa and Manuel do their best to fight him off, Monoma is flung to the ground with his face smashing into it pretty hard, causing him to close his eye. And with that, despite Shigaraki being beaten pretty hard by Deku, Shigaraki now fully awakens. A massive blast rips through the enclosed floating UA platform, and as havoc is utterly wrought up top, below the USA campus is just as bad. All of the engineer students down below and workers say a power line was busted. Power loader comes out of one of the compartments saying, I can't pop in a spare. The corners we cut for the super rush job are coming back to bite us. Hasume asks him, what about the electromagnetic barrier? Power loader says, what's left is holding up, but output isn't stellar. Mandalay sends out a psychic message to everyone saying, this is Mandalay. We've lost flight control. I repeat, we've lost control. Yaoyorozu hears this and questions it, but deep in the woods, Skeptic sees his chance saying, at last, I'm in and prepare for your downfall, heroes. So now everyone's hitting all at once. Mandalay tells everyone, what's more, the control center island is under attack. As you see just a flood of twices just overwhelming Manuel, Present Mike, Aizawa, Monoma, just everywhere. Mandalay tells everyone, and Phantom Thief is unable to perform his role as Deku tries his best to fight back the burst of power coming out of Shigaraki, or Shigaraki's body, essentially. And as we see Shigaraki take on a more svelte form, I guess, because of the healing quirk now back in effect, Deku says, it's Kurogiri. What happened at Central Hospital? As we see several of the students grappling with the destruction below, Mandalay says Erasure is no longer active. The deadliest villain of all is about to be unleashed. Once UA falls, all of Japan, no, the entire world will be destroyed by his hand. Thank you, Mandalay, for that uplifting message, but, I mean, hey, better to know just how screwed you are. Meanwhile, Shigaraki seems to be just checking his body, like, touching it? I don't know. Deku's at the ready thinking, what's tearing away? Is he shedding skin? He's not moving. But then Shigaraki speaks, saying, what if I told you that it's me here now? What would you want to do? Sit down for a chat at the mall, Ain't happening, hero. After all, I am your villain. And Deku realizes that's the Shigaraki persona. So Deku essentially beat the All for One out of Shigaraki, more or less. The persona of All for One was knocked into submission, allowing Shigaraki to literally just claw his way out. Man, I didn't realize it, but yeah, Skeptic's in. I thought he was in the forest, but now he's in that cave that they were in before, with this whole computer setup with monitors everywhere. Skeptic says to no one in particular, I think he's just talking to himself. Naturally, UA's system was doomed to fall to my skills. Even their subterranean evacuation system is putty in my hands now. The ignorant masses and heroes who cling to the old ways will perish in the name of liberation. But while Skeptic is jerking himself off and patting himself on the back all at the same time, he doesn't notice something going on with one of his monitors that seems to be, well, monitoring the subterranean evacuation system. I wonder, did someone catch on to what Skeptic was up to? Maybe hack into his systems? Meanwhile, Deku, confronted by Shigaraki, thinks to himself, if the school comes crashing down, Yaoyorozu and everyone below are doomed. I've got to keep UA in the air, and at the same time, I need to keep an eye on Kirigiri, so that Shigaraki can't escape. Crap, it's all too much. I can't breathe. I need air. Oh my god. I see what's happening on the next page, and it is. I was wondering who would have the ability to hack into Skeptic's system, but we'll get there in due time. Deku realizes and thinks to himself, the blowback from the power-up gear shift quirk. When my cells don't get a second to rest, my body can't get enough oxygen. Ooh, still having drawbacks. All this power, and it's just like, it doesn't come without a price. The second user of One for All says, I said, you can't fall just yet. However, there's a silver lining to this dark cloud. All for One is having serious problems keeping those identities unified. Those of us within One for All resonate with All for One, so we can peer into each other's inner working. At the moment, it seems he's in no position to manipulate the flesh he's possessing. Yeah, it's literally a situation like, whereas with Deku, all the entities within his body are just like, we know what we need to do. But with Shigaraki, it's just like, he's battling it out with the entity within him. If they had any form of cohesion, Shigaraki would probably be unstoppable. But then it wouldn't even be Shigaraki at that point. It would just be All for One. The second user says, do whatever it takes to make your own body act, even 1 second faster. The chain of events leading to this moment will be by your power. And back in Skeptic's cave, a figure calls out to him from one of his monitors saying, found ya. It took a while, but you finally showed yourself. Hunting you down was no walk in the park. Skeptic turns to the monitor, questioning who this is, and we find that it's the former crime clip uploader villain La Brava. And it seems she's working with Detective Sukauchi. She says, but nothing's too much for me, cause this is all for Gentle's sake. So more than likely doing this will get either him completely off and out of jail, or it'll reduce their sentences or whatever. I was wondering how we were going to deal with Skeptic, but I'm like, we don't really know that many other hacker characters. And there we go, La Brava. I love that finally the whole Gentle situation is coming back in some capacity. I was wondering if it was going to be Gentle himself, but knowing that it's La Brava, I don't know, that's kind of cute. Like, the sheer happiness I feel at knowing that Gentle and La Brava in some way are helping out in, like, this final battle situation is just like, yes! So many people wrote off the whole festival arc and all of that, the Gentle criminal, but I know there's also plenty of people who love Gentle and La Brava. And for the chance for them to come back in and help out and do things for justice, because they may be criminals, but they still have honor. But I feel like Skeptic's gotta be dealt with. And he should be. He's a little dick. But it's hard to say what's going to happen next. I mean, Monoma, he might have been knocked out by that hit to the floor. So, I mean, Shigaraki, he is unleashed. He is completely unleashed. And now he's still not 100% done. And who knows, with him fighting against the all-for-one persona inside of him, he might not have complete control over his abilities and all that, but he'll still be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, how will Deku deal with this? I mean, the upgraded decay quirk alone could level this entire place. But I like how even things have kind of been. It's like the heroes overcome, the villains overcome. The heroes overcome, the villains overcome. It's a nice back and forth. It doesn't completely feel lopsided. Though the heroes are at very dangerous odds, there are still chances to win. The only one I'm not sure of is, well, the ultimate villain here. Interestingly enough, Shigaraki himself. How do you take him down? I mean, Deku went in with the best of the best of the best, unleashed all then and there. But, I mean, what else? What else can he pull out to really sock it to Shigaraki to just put him down? And I know that Deku doesn't want to kill him, but how does he, quote-unquote, save Shigaraki? I wonder. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but also remember to like, subscribe, bell, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.